Hi, this is Mike, and welcome back to 5 minutes of fantasy sports. Still a football game going on tonight, so we'll save football for tomorrow and some waiver ads. I guess I would just say if you have it where you can instantly add players to your team, try to add Madison. He's going to be the big pickup this week, depending on how long Delvin Cook is out. But we'll talk about basketball for the rest of it. And taking a look at my matchup this week. It's looking like I'm going to probably win 7-2, maybe 6-3 if he's able to take over blocks. Maybe only 5-4 if he's able to take over points. But hopefully it stays 7-2, which will put me into first place. So that'll be nice. I talked about adding a couple guys, KCP, and also adding Tyus Jones. Tyus Jones didn't do great for me tonight. He got me 6 points, 3 rebounds, 8 assists. Only shot 250 from the field. And he was 2 for 3 from the line, so nothing special there. So hopefully he figures it out. He is the starter, though, so that's nice to see. But what I want to talk is some quick strategy for setting your lineups for next week, for week 7. So a website I like to look at is this website called #basketball. So you actually don't put the hashtag, you type it out, #basketball.com. And they have a thing called an advanced NBA schedule grid. And so you want to switch to week 7 up top here. And it shows you how many games each team is playing each week. So you can see Cleveland, Dallas, Houston, Clippers, the Heat, the Pelicans, the Blazers, and the Wizards all have 4 games. You want to switch it, though. If you click on games, it'll show you which teams are only playing 2 games. So the Pistons and the Lakers. So the way I would use this is if you're kind of on the bubble as to whether or not to add or drop a player, take a look at the games they play that week. And if you do it on Sunday before the week starts, some of you might be playing in weekly lineups where you have to set the lineup all week. Mine's a daily one, so I can switch guys in or out. But if you're thinking about getting rid of someone on the Pistons or someone on the Lakers, I would suggest adding someone from a team who's playing 4 games or at least playing 3 games. The Wizards have a lot of games. There's some players. KCP I just added. He can play. Trailblazers. I can't think of anyone off the top of my head. But just look at the teams that play 4 games, and you'll get an instant advantage there. Just a couple extra games for your players to play. So keep that in mind. That's the way I like to use that little feature of the website as well. And then tomorrow or the day after, you always want to take a look at your teams in the league. I know I've talked about Stat Tracker before, but we'll just take a quick browse through Stat Tracker here. Right now it's set to football, so if you just go up to the top and you click on the basketball, it'll show you your basketball matchup. And it'll also, which is nice, give you some live standings updates. So if these numbers all stay the same here in my league, it'll boot me up to first place. So I'll actually be in a tie for first place. But I guess because I won and this guy's going to lose, it'll show me as being in first right now. All right, so that's a nice way to see where you're at and to kind of compare yourself to your league. It helped that I was playing the guy who was in 11th place this week because I probably would have lost or not done as well against some other teams. And I'm not in the clear yet. I'm kind of saying I won when this matchup is still live. He's got 2 guys playing, whereas my guys are all finished. So Steph Curry had a crazy good game again. Trade for him if you can. I would say anyone you can trade for Steph Curry, do it. He's primed to have a great season. James Harden, I mean, he's still putting up good numbers, but he had an off game on Saturday. He's still playing pretty well. I've been having issues with Julius Randle, and really anyone who's a Knick right now just seems to be in some kind of team-wide funk. I don't know what it is, but it's not going very well. So I have Kemba Walker. I have Julius Randle. They're all just kind of not doing great. So I wouldn't suggest dropping them or trading those players yet. They still have potential to play well. They just kind of need to gel together. But get Caruso if you haven't already in your league. He's putting up great numbers, elite steals, good percentages. He's a guy that I would suggest adding as well. And, most of these guys might not be available on waivers. Josh Hart, he's pretty good. He's put up some good games. I'm still holding. Will Barton's another guy that's probably owned, but if you can add these guys off of waivers, the more power to you. So, yeah, main thing, remember this #basketball. They also got some other stuff that you can look at as well, but we'll just look at this one feature right now. So if you click on fantasy basketball on the website, and then you want to go to where it says Advanced Schedule Grid, and then make sure it's selected for next week, which is week 7, and then just scroll down. You can click on games, and it'll show you the games that are played. I usually use it to check, the lower amount of games, and try to avoid that if you can. If you have players like on the Lakers, like the guy I'm playing has Malik Monk, nothing against him, but he's not getting the minutes he used to, and he's only playing 2 games next week. If I was him, I would drop Malik Monk and add someone from maybe Cleveland if you can, or Dallas, or Houston. Houston has some interesting guys. I always get his name. I always think his name's Michael Porter Jr., but I don't think that's right. But there's a guy on Houston who's in my league that's available that I would consider picking up, especially if I had someone on the Lakers. So anyway, that's it for today. Hopefully that was some helpful basketball advice for next week. And we'll talk football tomorrow and go over a little bit the games and what you might need to add. So I'll see everyone then.